Hello and welcome back to Mexico News Network's Breaking News. Remember, we are broadcasting from El Dorado Royal Spa Resort by Charisma, a beautiful gourmet-inclusive, adults-only hotel, the heart of Riviera Maya. Now remember to follow us on social networks on Google, Facebook, and Twitter, and remember to always keep informed and logged onto our website on www.mexiconewsnetwork.com. Let's continue with more information of today. Excellent news coming right up. Toyota, the leading Japanese car manufacturing firm, has reaffirmed plans to roll out a low-cost automatic braking technology all across nearly every single one of its models. The company has organized its safety features into several package levels, known as the Toyota Safety Sense for the mainstream brand or Lexus Safety System Plus for the luxury marque. TSS is now available in two levels, TSS-C for compact cars or TSS-P for mid-size and premium models, with respective prices of $300 and $500. Both include automated braking. However, the latter steps up from a laser system to millimeter wave radar that is capable of detecting pedestrians. This package also includes lane departure warnings and automatic high beams, while TSS-P adds radar-based adaptive cruise control. The package were already detailed in previous reports, and the big news is now the price tags. $300 for TSS-C, $500 for TSS-P, and ranging from $500 to $635 for LSS Plus. Many rivals only offer the safety upgrades as part of luxury packages that cost thousands, and even the individual automatic braking adds on typically over $1,000 to the base price. TSS will initially be available on the RAV4 and Avalon, along with 3 models that will be announced later on this year, 2015. LSS Plus will also launch on the new Lexus RX, due to make its debut in New York. Toyota claims the budget safety packages will spread all across the full range of cars by 2017. Amazon has long aimed to be your one-stop shop for buying items ranging from books to furniture. Now on Monday, the e-commerce giant announced it's now pushing to be your go-to destination for yet another kind of purchase: home services such as gutter repair, treadmill assembly, and television wall mounting. Amazon Home Services is a marketplace in which shoppers can schedule and pay for services from professionals that have been vetted by Amazon. Pricing for each and every service is available up front, so the customers know exactly what their tab will be. Much like on its e-commerce site, customer reviews will also be available to help shoppers decide which service provider they want to commission. The company is promising it takes just 1 minute to buy pre-packed services through its marketplace. Amazon also says that it will provide a refund for the services if a customer is not happy or satisfied with the service provider's work. Now, in order to ensure the quality of these service providers, Amazon will vet them with a background check and will require them to have the licenses needed for the line of work. Amazon will also charge the businesses a selling fee of 10 to 20%. At launch time, Amazon says it's starting with more than 2 million service offers across 700 different service categories, including common jobs such as painting, toilet replacement, and ant treatment. Other services seem like they might appeal to only a niche audience. Go Grazing, for example, is available in Seattle, while aerial dancing lessons are offered in Los Angeles. Consumer review sites such as Angie's List and Yelp have already built wide audiences for their stable of customer reviews, so Amazon will most likely have to fight to win some of these users. However, Amazon will also have some key advantages in taking on these more established players. Angie's List, for instance, keeps its reviews and listings behind a paywall, whereas Amazon's will be available to practically anyone who visits the site. And while Yelp users can read customer reviews for free, there is no seamless way to book services from the site if you like what you see. And of course, we have Amazon's massive scale. The company said its internal data show that more than 85 million of its customers are currently shopping for products that require professional services, meaning that perhaps they are shopping for an item such as a faucet, which needs installation, or a foosball table, which needs assembly. Amazon says it will list services alongside related products, which is excellent. So for example, users might see a listing for a garbage disposal installer next to a product listing for a garbage disposal itself. The move is part of Amazon's broader effort to expand beyond selling physical products, such as diapers, or digital goods, such as its streaming television show Transparent. And here is an extra piece of information for you guys. Jeffrey P. Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, is in fact the owner of the Washington Post. Interesting, right? Let's follow up and see what the company has in store for us in the future. Now, a robotics firm debuted bionic ants, butterflies, and chameleon's tongue. The world of robotics never ceases to amaze, and things got a little more amazing thanks to 3 new products by robotics firm Festo. In what they call the Bionic Learning Network, they have debuted 3 new robots inspired by nature: bionic ants, e-motion butterflies, and the flex-shape gripper, which grips things the way a chameleon's tongue would. In terms of optics, the e-motion butterflies are probably the most impressive. They look and act very much like butterflies and fly in a very similar manner. These robots are monitored by cameras throughout the facility, which key in on their infrared markings. Perhaps most impressive is their efficiency. Their bodies contain the power source and navigation equipment in an incredibly small space, which enables their natural flight patterns. With their ability to fly information and communicate with a central computer, these e-motion butterflies could have a place in futuristic factories as a mean of keeping tabs on production without interference. On the other hand, the bionic ants also act much like their namesake. Also using incredibly small robotics, the ants are able to communicate with one another in order to follow preset rules. They can carry objects much larger than themselves, for instance, without bumping into each other. When power gets low, these ants are able to move information to a powered railing, which they touch their antenna in order to recharge. Now, the flex-shape gripper grabs objects in much the same way as a chameleon's tongue, securing insects by enveloping them. The unique gripping motion gives the flex-shaped gripper an incredible amount of dexterity. It can grab objects large as well as small, and can even pick up multiple objects in a single gripping motion. Its soft surface may prove to be a boon for manufacturing, as it will be able to grip delicate objects without damaging them. Festo describes its Bionic Learning Network as a cooperation between Festo and renowned universities, institutes, and development companies. Principles from nature provide inspiration for technical applications and industrial practice. How about that? Now, much of Mercury's surface is darker than we would expect it to be. However, this has only led experts to an outstanding recent discovery. Scientists have, in fact, found that invisible paint that makes Mercury darker than dark. Mercury may have comet dust to thank for its dark appearance. the smallest planet in the solar system, has curious coloring. It is darker than it should be, and scientists haven't been able to figure out why. However, a new study published on Monday in Nature Geoscience suggests an answer. Because Mercury has basically no atmosphere and is the closest thing to the Sun, where solar winds are violent and space debris impacts are most common, it's expected to acquire a lot of tiny iron particles which are known to absorb light and make planets look darker. However, the Moon, which is also what we would call airless, has more iron than Mercury itself and still appears lighter. Carbon dust may be the answer. In the new study, researchers calculated how much material passing comets may shed on a defenseless planet close to the Sun. It turns out that the answer is probably lots and lots, even enough to leave Mercury with a surface that's as much as 6% carbon after a few billion years of existence, which is about 50 times more than has been left on the Moon itself. And it turns out it could account for Mercury's unusual murkiness. How about that? And the coolest part of it all, the research led by Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory postdoc Megan Brooks-Seil tested their theory by launching some projectiles across NASA Ames Vertical Gun Range, which is a 14-foot cannon that shoots up to 16,000 miles per hour to stimulate impacts that happen in space. Now, by launching surgery missiles, sugar mimics the organic material in comets at a target that stimulates the darker parts of the surface of the Moon, the closest analogy we have to Mercury, given their shared airlessness. The study authors showed that comet carbon has serious sticking power. The heat of impact made by tiny particles of carbon break free, and these were then embedded into the melted impact crater of their new home. The impact spots then is absorbed a lot more light than they had before. Only 5% of light shown on those spots was reflected. However, the carbon did not reveal itself in spectral analysis, which could in fact explain why similar readings on Mercury haven't revealed the cosmic paint job. We show that carbon acts like a stealth darkening agent. Study co-author Peter Schultz, Professor Emeritus of Geological Science at Brown, stated, "From the standpoint of spectral analysis, it is like an invisible paint," he added. We will be right back with more information on Mexico and the Riviera Maya after these few messages. However, don't forget to follow us on social networks on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. On Mexico News Network, I'll also keep logged on to our website 24/7 on www.mexiconewsnetwork.com.